Okay, we're live.
All right. Hey, everybody. We want to welcome you tonight for joining us here with Sillypanda Media on our Thursday night live podcast here on Facebook. We want to thank all the viewers, of course, for tuning in tonight and every Thursday. And we have a very, very special podcast tonight with Vitalent. And if you can, viewers, when you're watching right now, if you could please, Manny, if you could please share the link throughout the podcast for us. There's a button on there, those of you that Facebook know how to share that. It's very important tonight what we're going to be doing and what we're going to be sharing. And we have a very, very special guest. But before I introduce her to you, we just want to thank Sillypanda Media, of course, the Blacksmith and Vinaholics for always making Thursday night podcasts amazing. And so thank you guys. And thanks again, everybody, for watching. So tonight we have some very important information, not just for us here in the studio tonight, but it's important for every one of you watching, your family members, any living soul that you know or have come in contact with. And it's important because it's regarding blood donations. And so we have our special guest from Vitalent tonight, and her name is Veronica Cruz. Thank you, Veronica, for joining us. It's been long awaited. I've been so excited. I know you have too, and nervous, but at the same time, it's a good thing.
Yes, it is. And thank you for having me tonight.
Yeah, we're excited for you. And
Thank you.
at last Thursday, Jose and I were on here, and I was encouraging everyone watching to join us, and I was ranting and raving about you. And you guys finally get to meet who I was talking about, Veronica, Vero. And why don't you start with telling us a little bit about yourself and how you started with Vitalent?
Wow. Well, again, I'm Veronica, and thank you for having me this evening. I've been with Vitalent, formerly known as United Blood Services.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be 15 years this November.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
15 years. I started when I was 19.
Wow.
19. So this place has seen me grown as an individual, and my donors are like family as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been good long 15 years.
So did you start off, you went to school obviously for phlebotomy, or is that something different?
Actually, my background is more of a medical assistant.
Oh, okay.
I did take some phlebotomy courses
Mm-hmm.
during the time frame that I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't need a lot of medical background to be a phlebotomist there at Vitalent.
Oh, okay.
They actually train you, but we do have our nurses there that they have their degree.
Nice. Okay. And so we wanted to know, I had asked like different questions, just different people, kind of curious maybe if they've never donated before or they're constant faithful blood donors. But why don't you tell us a little bit about how there's different types of blood donations that people can give that might not know?
Well, there is different types of donations there.
Mm-hmm.
And the very basic one is our whole blood,
Mm-hmm.
where you just...
That was the one that I did my first time, my pint.
Well, don't feel bad, because that one actual pint helps 3 lives.
That's what
3
amazed
lives.
me when it happened. Again, you guys, I met her. She was my actual blood taker. And from the moment that you had me sit in the chair, even when I was leaving, like you were explaining every portion of the blood donation part, what you were going to do. It's not going to hurt. Make sure you're squeezing at the same time. And I mean, you made it so less nerve-wracking and I guess scary compared to what I thought it was going to be.
Well, I appreciate
I mean, I do remember telling you, like, oh, it's just a needle. I've had 5 kids. I've had IVs and whatever.
Right.
But I think just seeing And she even told me too not to look. I didn't have to look, but I wanted to see my blood going through the line. But you made it very comforting, and that's what I think I appreciated too, amongst everything else, for you explaining to me. But I was amazed by just the pint of blood of how many lives it changed. And then we'll talk about it a little bit further down, but I didn't know how the process goes with the whole blood, how it separates and what they do for it with
Right.
it.
Well, again, we do have our whole blood.
Mm-hmm.
We have our power red. We call it our power red. That's a two red cell unit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have our plasma, red cells. We have a platelet donation. So I could go in more in depth of our donations, but we'll stick with whole blood right now.
Okay.
Well, yeah, whole blood is a straight donation. It takes about 8 to 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's very quick.
Mm-hmm.
What takes long is the interview process, where we actually ask you about 50 give and take
I remember
questions.
That one. Mm-hmm.
Once we rule out those questions, we get to know that medical part of you. Then it guides us where we're going to draw your blood or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it includes questions like your heart or lung condition.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had a history in the past 12 months of high sexual risk behavior?
Mm-hmm.
And from there on, we evaluate your questions if they've been answered as a yes. Other than that, we conclude with a vitals. We check your hemoglobin. What's hemoglobin?
Mm-hmm.
It's a reading of how much blood or oxygen that you have in your system in order to donate with us.
Right.
So we do have to follow certain guidelines.
Yeah. And I know the last time when I was scheduled to go back and donate, I was so sad because my levels were low. And
there's no such thing as low.
Okay, they weren't good. They weren't good enough for you guys
Not
to take
necessarily.
my blood. Okay, I don't know what was wrong with my blood, but it wasn't going to happen that day.
Actually, there was nothing wrong with your blood. Actually,
it got rejected.
and you know, all our donors feel that way when they don't pass that actual criteria. It doesn't mean that you're defective.
Okay, thank you. So better.
But it's a guideline that it's placed there because we have to follow FDA regulations, and it's for your safety.
Okay.
It's always donor safety.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because we're in such great need. We're going to say, oh, no, let's just go take your blood. No, we don't do that. We want to make sure that you are fine afterwards. This hemoglobin doesn't mean that if you're low, there's something wrong with you. It's just our guidelines are higher than a physician's count. So you have to meet this number. And of course, you guys are wondering, what's this number? Females have to be 12.5 in order to donate. So that's just our guideline.
And that's just for whole blood, or does that include if
That's
they were
just
to do platelets or plasma?
Well, it varies. So if you're donating more red cells, like if you get connected to a automated machine, if you're just giving strictly red cells, you have to be higher than that.
Okay.
Because it's more of a concentrated donation. And whole blood is just taking everything that your body's creating in a weighed unit. So there is a criteria that you have to go through, height and weight. So we evaluate that for our donors.
Lose weight too. I'm working on it.
No, not losing weight. If you lose weight, then
Trying to be healthy.
your guidelines are more stringent. So
Got it. Okay, got that one too.
Yes.
Okay. So what are some of the reasons? I mean, maybe that you think, or maybe even people that have gone in, that they probably tell you, or when they're asked if they want to donate, that they wouldn't. Do you think that it's more along the lines that they just don't know what the process is, or you think it's more that they're scared? Or because I know one of my thoughts was like, what if I'm not in good health? And the other one also was, oh my God, my mind just went blank. It was, what if I'm not in good health? And then, what if I don't know my blood type?
Well, there's no such thing as not being in good health. That's why we do the questionnaire. We have you guys answer those questions, and then we know if you're a good candidate to donate blood at that moment in time. There is that criteria for males and females. Males is a little bit more less more easy. Because again, males have more blood than a female. The one thing that I could tell you, and this goes to all our Hispanic community, we all have our myths.
Right.
And myths are the ones that put you at a hold, like, oh, I don't want to do this because they might do this, might do that. And one of them is, I'm going to get infected.
From donating blood?
From donating
really?
blood.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting.
And they don't realize that everything is pre-manufactured. There is no reusing needles. There is no sharing, oh, well, I use this needle with this donor. Let me go and use it with the other. No, it doesn't go. We are regulated by the FDA. So.
Yeah. And the facility there, it's so, I like it because it's really big and it's open. But that's one thing also, is it's very, very top-notch clean from the moment that you walk in, even on the outside of the building. I think I shared with you before too, like I've worked there for over a year, and I've always said, oh yeah, I'd like to donate blood, and I've drove past it and walked past it, and then one day I just walked in, and it was funny. My daughters were the ones that had kind of gotten me to, because one of them mentioned, Mom, they're giving away free fair tickets if you donate blood. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I never go to the fair. Remember, we were just talking right now about scary roller coaster rides?
Right.
I won't go on those rides. But dumb, not that I was dumb, but it was a tool that you guys used. And I went, and I'm glad that I did. Because I didn't realize, and I don't think a lot of people realize, and I don't think the viewers realize either, of the huge amount of shortage that we have for Ventura County.
Yes, we
Not just Ventura County, but elsewhere too. But
elsewhere.
Do you want to talk about that?
Well, one fact that I could tell you is that we need blood every 2 seconds.
Wow.
Actually, right now, someone is needing blood. Oh my God. So, yes, it's always a need, especially around holidays, especially when families go out to vacations and you see these roads that are heavy trafficked, and things happen. Accidents happen.
Tell me share with the viewers what you had told me when I donated that day about, because I don't think even people realize with the whole shooting that took place.
So,
and the process of that.
One thing off record, we provide our blood for our county. So if you're a resident here, I strongly advise you, and I strongly plead to donate. The blood stays here in the county. Don't get us wrong, we do help assist other sister counties, but our residents come here first. We covered all hospitals that you could name on your list here in the county. With that in mind, we have had shootings around the nation, and there is a guide that we take. Our blood bank has these guidelines in place where we help assist other sister blood banks in such short of time. And it's pushing our blood, trickling from one center to another, and helping assist that patient, whoever is on the other side of that nation.
That's amazing.
Helping them.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, every 2 seconds, guys. Yes. You'll be amazed. Just one accident could take up to 60 units for one individual.
That's
60
amazing.
Units.
Excuse me. Yeah, that's what we were when we went to the open house that you guys had. And we're going to take a break right now because we're going to go to a commercial. But we'll talk a little bit about when you guys had open house at Vitalent.
Nice. Okay. Very good.
All right. All right, we're back.
Fine.
We're back.
My bad.
We're back.
Sorry.
All right, so we hope you enjoyed that, guys. So that was the open house that we were invited to, and at that moment when we were there and we got to, Sergio was taking us around. Sergio Capa, if he's watching, thank you so much for the opportunity, and just for the learning experience and the life-changing experience of allowing us to go and actually see the process of it all, not just from the moment you walk in to the questionnaire when they're checking your hemoglobin, and then we get taken to the area of where the blood gets drawn. But even behind that, what happens to the blood after? Because I think that that made that much more of a difference. And seeing a certain area that he had showed us of where they place the blood on the lines, I think it was for where they're shaking. They have to move the blood so it doesn't coagulate. Oh my gosh. I was telling him there should be more of these. And I'm
It's
getting
very
goosebumps just thinking
minute.
about it, because that goes back to your whole every 2 seconds somebody needs blood.
That's correct.
So that open house was held in Ventura, and just to see the process, and not just the process, but the workers, the volunteers, and everyone that was a part of that. Just like you guys have such a passion for it, and it shows, and it makes a difference. And I don't think that people really realize how important it is. Like, I can't stress enough how it really literally is saving a life.
Well, I'm there because our donors.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with our community.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot stress on saying that. It starts with our neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with the people that we live with on a daily basis.
Right.
I wouldn't be there at the blood bank for about 15 years
Oh
again
my gosh, yeah.
if it wasn't for these individuals that come and give their time.
Mm-hmm.
Their, it's volunteer. It's a time that we take in such appreciation. Giving an hour just from the beginning, registering, doing your questions, having your vitals taken, to the point where we sit you down to the bed
Mm-hmm.
and take your blood. That's time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's critical time for a patient that's waiting for that blood.
Right. Now, I know that there's different ways that you can sign up to be a donor.
Oh, yes.
What would you say is probably, because I'm sure a lot of people might think, well, if it's a long process, I don't want to do it. But what would you say is the easiest way for someone that is limited on time, or even just the process of waiting and they're not patient enough to wait and do that? Would you recommend going online? Because you guys do have a website.
Oh, yeah.
It's vitalent.org, right?
Yes.
Okay. So people can literally go to vitalent.org.
You actually
And
could
sign
go straight to bloodforlife.org,
Mm-hmm.
and then it will give you the option to do your fast track.
Oh, okay.
If you're a first-time donor, please type in your first, last name as your driver's license. We go what your information's on your driver's license.
Oh, okay, good to know.
So if you are married and not change your last name, go with the last name that it's in your driver's license. That's a legit ID.
Okay.
We're going to go with that documentation. And then as it goes in the future, if you decide to change that name, we'll change it for you. But yes, on your driver's license, you go by what your name is on there.
The driver's license. Okay, good. And then what would you say are some of the most asked questions? Me and my bestie back over there, Rebecca in the corner, we were talking about this last night, and I'm like, I've been asking different people different questions, like about blood donating, like I had said. And so some of the questions were, like, what happens if, like, say, one of them was they take medication, like physical, but not like high blood pressure medication, or maybe it's not medication. Maybe they were out for the weekend and had a good time, alcohol, or, the newly approved CBD, and they want to know.
Are you trying to guide me to the recreational part here?
Oh, yeah, that's the word I should have used. Somebody tell me these things. The recreational portion, but those are legit questions. And it's kind of like, is there like a waiting period before they should go and donate? Is there something maybe that you don't recommend?
Actually, we do go by a medical conditioned list. But those are things that don't inhibit you from donating.
Okay.
We want you to be coherent to answer the questions. That's the number one part. Yes.
Functional? Is that the word?
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
That you're agreeing to donating your blood, that you're voluntarily
good to know.
There.
Okay. Those are legit questions. I promise you guys they are. Oh, and the other one was also supplements.
Those won't not inhibit. We actually recommend our donors to take supplements.
Really?
It benefits the other person on the other end. It gives them a boost.
Okay. And then if they have, let's just say, someone that has high blood pressure or maybe diabetic or even have like the common cold.
Okay, so anything that includes with blood pressure, your heart, or any other medication, we have those guidelines there physically. You give us that information, we'll look it up, we'll guide you, and we'll let you know this is what you need to wait if it's a time frame waiting period. Diabetes, for all my Hispanic and other people that have diabetes, please don't be afraid. This is a condition that's not going to let you not donate.
They're not exempt from donating.
Long as you have it controlled by your physician and you're following your physician's rules and taking your medication, you have it under control, you're more than welcome to come in tomorrow. Well, yes.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Friday.
You won't get to see Veronica, though, because she won't be there. But there's plenty other sweet people that are there.
To my Vitalant peeps there, they will be more than welcome to assist you.
I know you mentioned this earlier. You kind of talked about it a little bit, but is there a particular month or season, other than every day, we know every 2 seconds, but where the blood need is greater?
You know what? In the years that I've been there, it fluctuates. There's summers where we look around in our center and we're like, oh my God, where's everybody? Why are we lonely out here? But again, families want to take trips. We can't hold our donors against that. They want to travel with their family. Holidays come and everybody's holidays change, whether they fly out or they have family that come over or to visit them. So we all get busy. But yeah, our times just fluctuate. There is no special holiday unless we have special promotions.
What are special promotions?
We give our donors extra incentives for holidays. Sometimes like our platelet donations, which those are 24/7. We don't take a break from that.
Wow.
Those type of donations, we do actually give extra points for our donors to redeem online for movie tickets, t-shirts, gear, backpacks. I believe there's other like earbuds, not earbuds, but some ear
Headphones.
yeah. There's plenty of stuff that we do try to give our donors for their time and for their donation.
Yeah, one of the things that I thought was cool that I got this shirt.
Yeah.
This is Be a Hero.
Yeah.
And then Jose took my other shirt that he hasn't donated yet for. So
we'll get him in there.
Yeah.
Soon.
Very, very soon. He doesn't know it yet. We're spending a day together there. I'm just kidding. And then is there a way, let's just say they are traveling out, what counties, or even is there a Vitalant in every state, or is it limited? If I were to say I'm registered here in Ventura County, am I able to give like at the San Luis Obispo?
Oh yeah.
It's
of course.
Across the board,
yes,
you can
San
donate.
Luis, Santa Maria.
Awesome.
Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, this was the other thing that I wanted to know. So how many people can donate in a day? Because your guys' business hours, they do change.
It does.
And so it varies. So it's about, for the red blood cells, it's about an hour. And then I believe they told me for platelets, it's about a 2-hour process. Is that correct?
It's about 2 hours.
Okay. So, and there are days that you guys are open on weekends, but it does require an appointment. And what are the variables on that?
So in order to donate blood, we're open the first and third Saturday of the month. That's for any type of donation.
Mm-hmm.
Platelets, it's open even on holidays, weekends.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So they're two different type of donations.
Mm-hmm.
Platelets, it's more, we give those to our patients that are battling any type of autoimmune disorder, cancer, or receiving an organ. Those are our therapeutic purposes on their end, depending on what conditions or, autoimmune disorder they're battling.
Mm-hmm.
The platelets are always time sensitive. Once they are extracted from the body, the donor donated them, they only last 4 or 5 days.
Oh my gosh.
Out of your body.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to work in a timely manner to get those to our patients.
Mm-hmm.
So every donation has its guideline.
Mm-hmm.
Whole blood takes, once you're connected to bleed to the bag, it's 8 to 10 minutes. A double red cell, once you get connected to the machine, it takes about, give and take, 30 minutes. And then again, a plasma, depending on the height and weight,
mm-hmm.
The machine calculates a time. So everybody's time is different. Mm-hmm. It's just being conscious that it's a time process.
Okay. Good to know. We have a question for one of our viewers. Lulu, thank you for watching. Went to high school with her.
Oh.
OHS girl. I know you didn't go to OHS. Too bad. Just kidding. Yellow Jackets. So her question is, can we donate after we are diagnosed with cancer but have been cleared of it?
There is a guideline that we do follow depending on what kind of cancer you have had.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, we'll let you know if you have to wait a certain time.
Oh, okay.
I could give you an example. Basal cell carcinoma,
mm-hmm.
which is just the top of your skin. That is no longer a time frame period to wait to donate blood.
Oh, okay.
But there is other type of cancers that we do. We follow the book and we let you know what
qualified and
exactly.
Not. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you, Lulu, for your question. If you have any other questions, please feel free to add them in the comment section here on the live stream. And if you can continue to share it, it's a tongue twister. How about you give us the location of your building?
So we are located in Ventura. It's 2223 Eastman Avenue, Suite 8, Ventura. We're actually right behind Burlington Coat Factory. If you guys are more than welcome to come and visit us. Our hours varied from Monday to Friday. And again, we're open the first and third Saturday of the month for all type of donations. Platelets, I do want to make a note on that. For a first-time donor that wants to do platelets, we have to have a platelet count.
I know, that's what I was told. I couldn't donate on Sunday because they didn't have my count.
Yes.
So how do you go about that? Because I didn't know that.
Okay.
And how do they get your platelet count?
So when you donate your blood, your whole blood, we actually take these extra tubes with your donation. And those tubes are to make sure that your blood is okay to be given to a patient. It goes up to, we test up to 14 or more viruses.
Oh, wow.
So with that, we take an extra little tube and we test for that platelet count.
Okay.
So depending on what your platelet count is, we have a criteria that we will, have our donors. We educate them and we tell them, your platelets are this high, and we could take a donation from platelets. Now, don't feel bad if one of the techs or one of the donor care specialist staff say, we would rather have you as a whole blood donor or just donate your red cells. It's just we follow guidelines.
Right.
We want to make sure that our donors have a great experience and not be afraid of coming back and being like, well, this donation made me feel not what I expected. But yeah, Mondays we're open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We close the doors for an hour lunch. Sorry, guys, we do take lunch.
You guys have to eat.
And then we reopen our doors from 3 to 5 p.m. So that's Mondays and Tuesdays. Those hours are the same for Mondays and Tuesdays. Wednesdays are our later nights.
Till 7, I think, right?
Yes. So we start at noon and noon to 3:30. And then we reopen our doors from 4:30 to 7. Those later appointments are for our donors that work late and they rather have that later appointment.
Right.
So Wednesdays are our later nights.
So you guys have options. See, there's no reasons you don't or you should not want to donate.
Right.
We have another question from Rebecca Grajeda watching. Hey, Rebecca. Her question, she's asking, she said, I used to donate blood at work with United Blood Services. They had an RV. Does Vitalant offer this?
Oh, yes. Let me state something. We just changed our name.
Yes.
We did not change our policies or the way that we run our mobiles. We still have our mobiles. Mobile crew goes out every day.
That was actually going to be one of my questions too, was are the mobiles only used for businesses or is it just certain how do you go about maybe even having a mobile to go? Is it just for like large events that you guys do, or is what are the requirements?
So our mobiles go anywhere. Could go to high schools, church, to your church.
Oh, okay.
It could go to, if you want to arrange or sponsor a blood drive, we could, if you have the place to park 3 buses, 2 or 1, we could help you with that.
Wow.
And you could find that information on our website.
The website,
and it will guide you
Vitalant.org.
to sponsor, coordinate a blood drive.
Wow.
So you could do a blood drive for dedication in memory of someone.
Oh my gosh.
Or,
That's amazing.
or someone that is actually at the hospital and they're trying to hang on there and the family has a huge need to return back to the community. They could do that blood drive as well.
That's awesome.
We go to businesses, community shopping centers. So the blood mobiles go everywhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm getting teary because I'm thinking, just certain people pop to mind. And I was sharing one, Jonathan, oh my gosh, he's the first one that came to my mind.
I can't stress you how many blood drives I've gone in my lifetime that I work there in memory of someone.
Mm-hmm.
And this includes from children, teenagers, mothers, fathers. You don't understand. It's amazing just to see different people, different walks of life.
Mm-hmm. Is there a minimum amount of people that need to donate in order to even use that you know of? I mean, I'll look, because I want, now that you're saying that, I would love to do something like that.
With
Just
the
in
experience,
honoring
I'm not
people.
too sure, but if
Okay.
you have 15 or 20 or more,
Mhm.
that'll be a superb. But
Awesome.
as it goes, you could build your list, and again, our people will help you, our tele-recruitment people.
Mm-hmm. It's really good. Irene's just commenting. Hey, Irene, thank you for watching and joining us. She gets weekly chemotherapy that includes IVIG treatments. And so she's saying, you're literally saving my life by doing this. And I think that, I know for you, that's a lot of your passion. And when you
hits
shared
home.
that with me that day, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be emotional.
It's okay.
That's what got me, though. And I went home and I was telling my girls, and then I was telling Jose, and I was telling everybody at work. I got one of my coworkers to go in and donate, and then he went like a couple days later, and then he came back and he's like, they asked me if I wanted to donate my platelets. So I said, okay. And do you know that day he was so tired? I'm like, Mark, what's wrong with you? And he's like, I don't know. They took my blood. But because of the way that you shared that with me, and it had an impact on me, that's how I was relaying it. And, you know, I got my 2 daughters, just off of myself. It was my 2 daughters. And then my oldest daughter's fiance went and donated. And then my coworker donated. So it's like, to the viewers, you have no idea how much of an impact you can have on someone's life, but also the influence that you have if you know what you're talking about. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if you would not have been so detailed and expressed how much it means to you, to me, because it was transparent to me and it made a difference in my life. And look how it's affecting other people too. So thank you so much, Veronica. You have no idea.
You gotta thank the donors, and you
Yes,
gotta
the
thank
donors
yourself for going there and giving that time to give life to someone. That's life in a bag.
Right.
So thank you. I'm there because of you. I'm there because of my donors, our donors.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm pretty sure you probably come across so many,
oh yes,
I mean, amazing people.
Yes,
that
different
have their
walk
own
of life
stories. I know at the open house, Sergio was sharing with me and my husband about a mom. I think that wasn't going to make it, but because of one of the donors, I forget how many units of blood she needed.
Oh yeah.
And she survived, and she was there that night. So it's like you don't know the person even standing next to you, you know, what they're looking at or what they're facing and the need that they have until you start hearing these different stories. And then the other thing too that I was excited that we got to see when we went behind in the back where they're doing all the blood processing is once it goes through the final stages, the big screen that's on the wall that notifies them to transport the blood where it's needed, whether it's Santa Barbara, Ventura Hospital, or wherever. I mean, and how fast they move.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's literally.
I could tell you something behind that. I have 2 siblings that work there.
Really?
Yes. My brother Daniel and my sister Elizabeth. They're hospital services staff.
Oh my gosh.
And I have to go back there just to get boxes to wrap up my day, to pack the blood, actually platelets, to pack the platelets. And so they have these special boxes back there. And so when I go back there, and the first time I saw these huge screens, I'm like, hey, can you explain to me what's that? And they're like, well, this is a new way of getting us orders from our hospitals. I'm like, oh, this is pretty neat. This is pretty neat. So yeah, it tells them how many units they need, platelets, frozen plasma, red cells.
Wow.
And there was one, where it was just like a hospital needed 15 products. And I'm like thinking, why do they need 15 products? What's going on their end?
Right.
And it just makes me reflect of that actual work day. How many donors do we see? And there's sometimes where we actually get to collect 15 units. And it's not busy. That's the very lowest of our collection.
Wow.
And just to think that hospital needed 15, how much of a shortage are we going to be for that next one?
Right.
So it's just making sure that we have our units for our donors, for our patients. Sorry.
And I think that's a lot of what we're about. Sillypanda Media, the Blacksmith and Vinylholic, we want to raise awareness in our community, not just in Oxnard or Ventura or Camarillo, but anywhere that we can. And by doing this, I really, really, really hope that you as the viewers, whether you're watching this live or even later on demand, because you can review it afterwards, but I really, really hope that the information that you've heard, the sharing of what it really means when you are a donor, and maybe you haven't, the importance of it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just the donor or the recipient, but it's even their family members, that because you're donating, you're saving their life, but it's their family member, it's their mom, it's their child. You just have no idea of the impact that it makes. And we would really hope that you guys go to vitalent.org, sign up. I'm going to look into doing the vehicle. I really want to do that. I mean, it's something that we can, I'm pretty sure. I'm
Yes, you could do your questions on your smartphone. Everybody has a smartphone. Go on bloodforlife.org. Answer the questions. You'll get a QR scan code. We scan that. If you're afraid that your phone's going to erase that browser, or you're not sure if it's going to save it, screenshot that actual QR scan code. Save it on your photos. And by the time you're ready, it'll go that day, because it does have an expiration date, your questionnaire.
okay.
It expires on that same day.
Okay.
You could take your questions already filled up. We scan it. The process is faster. We do have tablets in our centers and our mobiles where we provide you so you're able to do your questions. So don't feel like, oh, well, I don't have no smartphone.
Right.
I can't do this. We got you. Another thing is, please have a good meal. Please eat. This is not a test that your doctor's asking. It's not fasting.
Yes. You know that the day that the first time that I went to donate, I was reading online. I was filling out the questionnaire, the fast track.
The fast track.
The fast track form, and I was at work, and the owner of the company that I work for, he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting ready. I'm going to go donate blood." And he's like, "Well, did you eat?" And I said, "Yeah, I had breakfast." He's like, "You're not supposed to. They're not going to let you." And I said, "No, that's not what I read. It said you need to have like a breakfast." I said, "So I'm good." And he's like, "Nope, they're going to make you come back." So I went, and then Trudy at the front asked me, "Did you have something to eat?" And I said, "I did." "That's good, right?" She's like, "Yeah." Okay. And then afterwards, I think I went in there right when everybody was going to lunch. So when I was done, I'm like, man, I've already been gone for an hour. I only get an hour lunch. I need to hurry up and get back. And then Trudy was like, make sure you get some yogurt in there in the fridge. And you guys have the whole counter and they've got a kitchen stacked, you guys. If there's anything that's going to make you want to donate, it's their snack section. They've got chocolate chip cookies,
Oh, yeah.
popcorn. I mean,
Your cranberry, apple,
yes,
orange.
the orange juice. I mean, it's stocked. It's top of the line, guys.
And fresh popcorn for all you people that like your popcorn.
With extra butter if you want. But yeah, that was one thing also that I think it's a myth that people just assume you're not supposed to, but it's not true.
Well,
right?
it's, your safety. We want you to make sure that you had a good meal.
Mm-hmm.
The fasting part is just at the doctor, they'll have you want to be fasting because it's different testing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
Over here at the blood center, we want you to eat and hydrate because that makes a huge difference, and it makes a better experience for our donor.
Okay, great. And then, we're almost coming to an end here, guys. But one of the questions I did want to ask you, I know you said that you do go to the high schools with the mobiles as well.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean there's not an age limit, or do they just need parent consent to donate?
So depending on the high school, we still need a parent consent.
Okay.
16, you could donate if you are 16 with the parent consent.
Mm-hmm.
If you have that parent consent sign, it doesn't mean that your child is going to donate, because we do have stringent guidelines for that, depending on their height and weight. So kids are processed differently from adults.
Okay.
We do take that in consideration, and again, it's an FDA regulation. If you weight a certain per your height, then we can draw their blood.
Oh,
And
okay.
we do check their hemoglobin too.
Okay.
So there's that.
Interesting.
So parents, don't be afraid of letting your child donate, because we do follow some guidelines.
We have Trinidad Mora's watching. He's our actual dental advocate show that we have a podcast here on Wednesday nights.
Oh, very good.
And he's saying great show, but I remember Trinidad, the last podcast last Thursday when me and Jose were on, you were saying that you've never donated blood, but that we were kind of making you want to donate. So I'm going to make sure that you do sign up to donate, because it's a good thing. The only other thing that I wanted to ask you, Veronica, is there any like upcoming events that Vitalent would be having? Maybe that, I don't know if you guys do like exhibits like at the fair. I mean, the fair just passed, but do you guys do events like that too? Or is there any, I know Thanksgiving's coming, Christmas coming.
We do have certain events, and that comes down to our marketing department.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have our center. It's a fixed site. We're open. Again, our webpage, bloodforlife.org, will give you all that information, all the actual blood drives. You type in your zip code, and it gives you a list of where our mobile units will be.
Mm-hmm.
And you can select, like, if you're thinking about a Saturday or Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and you're on the bout of like, oh, well, I'm gonna be out, let me see if I want to donate today, let's see where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
You could type in your zip code, and it will give you a list of all the blood drives.
That's
all
cool.
the blood drives.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. All right. So, Veronica, we want to thank you for being so open to come and join
very
us and
welcome.
share your heart. And I appreciate you a whole lot. And
Thank you.
the events that are coming up as far as Thanksgiving, Christmas, I'm going to look into it. I want to do the mobile thing. But there's something else too that's very special coming up. And for those of you that are watching, Veronica's birthday is tomorrow, and she's here with us today. So to me, that's very special. We got you something small as an early happy birthday, just some flowers.
You guys.
And I know that chocolate cake isn't. Don't draw blood after you have that. But I just want to tell you, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
You know,
honestly.
like I was telling you, this was a milestone for me, and being there this November marks 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I could celebrate a birthday, why not go and donate and help someone celebrate another birthday?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I did this. And you know, we gotta be aware of what we could help with. You know,
Yes.
we regenerate blood, so we're not losing anything.
Right.
We're actually giving life.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me, and it was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. We're so happy. We're so glad. Thank you. Thank you, viewers, for watching us. And again, you'll be able to catch it online on review it, so you can see how silly we look. Just kidding. Not you. I do. But if you guys want to share with your family, have them watch it. It's so important. Again, we need blood in Ventura County and everywhere, but if you can sign up to donate, you're saving lives. Not a life, but lives.
Please share the awesomeness.
Yes, please. And then join us again next Wednesday. Dental Advocate will be on here at 8 o'clock, and then we'll have the Thursday Night Live next Thursday. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Good night.